Okay, good morning all. So in the yesterday class, we have seen about static versus dynamic anomaly detection and how the data flow model is represented. So these two topics are covered in the last session. So in the today class, we will start about the topic called strategies of data flow testing. So in the name itself, here we are applying different strategies for data flow testing. Before that, data flow strategies should be represented in the structural strategy representation. So structural strategies are applied for the data flow strategies. Okay. First of all, data flow has to be represented between the data objects. Data flow has to be represented between the data objects. So each data object is connected with the links. So these topics are already I have explained in the previous topics only. The same points will be repeated here before going to the strategies. Okay, so data flow strategies requires different objects. So these different objects or the data objects are connected with the links. Next, so each data flow link has to be weighted with some DKUCP weights. Okay, D means define, K means kill, U means usage, C means computational, P means predicate. These weights has to be represented for data flow ring to represent a data flow. To apply a data flow strategy also, this data flow has to be represented like this only. Data objects has to be linked from one object to the another object through a link with some weight. Okay. So next, to apply these strategies of the data strategies to the data flow testing, first of all, we will take these subparts from the parts. We have different parts from the data flow. From that, we will take the subpart and apply these strategies to the subpart. That is called path segment. Okay. Path segment is also known as subpath. So data flow testing strategies are based on selecting test path segment. So it selects a test path. The test path segment is nothing but a sub path. Okay. So a single data flow will contain number of subpaths. For we will select the subpath and we will apply a strategy to the subpath. Why we are applying a strategy to the subpath means to show the characteristics of data flow, how this data flow is executing, what are the properties of data, correctly it is executing or not. These are all comes under this strategy. Which strategy you are applying, based upon that strategies, that testing will be done. Okay, so here I'm saying that which strategy means we have multiple strategies to apply testing for data flow. Okay, this is the diagram representation of the data flow. So we will this data flow will have the begin and end nodes, which are called as dummy nodes. So every node will have the connection from one node to the another node. It starts from the begin and ends to the end node. And we will have in between, we will have some computational representation and predicate representation. Computation representation is nothing but calculation purpose. So predicate representation is nothing but loop representation. So where a loop is occurred, there a predicate will be arises. Remaining all are the computational. Okay, that diagram explains the simple data flow graph. Okay, so before going to the strategies, you have to know what terminologies we will use when applying strategy. We will use multiple times these terminologies like definition clear path segment, loop free path segment. So next one is simple path segment. So DU path, these are the segments, these are the path segments that you will take, the subpath that will stay, and you will apply the as strategies. Okay, so while you are applying the strategies, these terminologies will be repeatedly we will use. So first of all, we have to know what is the meaning of these terminologies. So first one is definition clear path. So in the name, you can understand that it is a definition clear. The path which you are taking, the path segment which you are taken, it should be clear. Definition clear. That's the path should be clear. It does not have any loop. It should start with the definition. So if, for example, you are taking a path for a variable, X or Y or Z. So that variable should starts with a node of the definition. So that is called the definition clear path. In between the path, what you have seen, it does not contain any loops. That is called the definition clear. The path will be the clear. See here, the path segment is a sequence of connected links between nodes. So the path which you are taking, it should connect a sequence connections from one node to the another node. Okay. The first link of the path is defined compulsory. The which path you are deciding that it is the definition, which path you are taking it as a definition clear path, it should have a sequence control, and it should be starts with a defined and subsequent, and remaining will be the subsequent links. Okay, so for example, the path which we had taken in the previous example, we had some nodes from 1 to 8. From fourth node, we will have a loop to second node, and seventh node, we will have again another loop to second node. From this, we will take the definition path, definition clear path. The path, see here, the path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the definition clear path, because this path does not have any loops in between. While coming to the path called 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this will have the loop, because fourth node have the loop to the second, seventh node will have again a connection to the 2. That path is not taken as a definition clear path, is not definition clear path, because the variable is defined on 2, 3, 4, 5, and again 6, 7. These are all mentioning that this path is not clear. Okay, because we have a link from the fourth to 2, and we have again a link from the 7 to 2. These are considered as, this path is not considered as a definition clear path. Okay, so definition clear path is a path which takes a sequence control of the links from one node to the another node, and the first link should be the definition. Okay, so nothing but definition is defined with the D. Okay, next one is loop free path segment. The path which is taken, it is a loop free path segment, means in the name itself you can understand that it is a loop free. So loop free means the path which does not have loop is called the loop free. That path is called the path loop free path segment. Okay, the path which does not have any loop, and every node of which is visited at most once is known as a loop free path. For example, if you're taking a path, and in that path we'll have repetition of nodes. For example, 7 to 7. Again, you are getting the node called 7. That is called a repetition node. That means you have a loop. Okay, so loop free path means nothing but any loop, do not have any loop. Every node, whatever path you are taking, in that every node of which visited at most once is known as the loop free path segment. Okay, see, in the path 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are loop free, but the path 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, again it is getting the node numbers called 6, 7. That is meant it is a loop. That's why it is a not a loop free path. First path which you have taken 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 is does not having a node repetition. That is called loop free path segment. First one is definition clear path. Next one is loop free path. And the third one is simple path segment. In the name itself, it is a simple path. So simple, the path will be the simple. How you can consider it a simple path? How you can tell it is a simple path means a node which the path which you are taken have in that path at most one node has to be visited twice. That is called the simple path. Okay, a path C 4 to 3, 4. Here the 4 node is repeatedly coming. That means it is a simple path segment, because the node 4 is visited twice in the path. That is called the simple path segment. Simple path segment is a path segment in which at most one node of it visited twice. Compulsory. At most one node has to be visited 2 times. So, but in loop free, the node has not the node should not be repeated, should not come repeatedly. That is loop free. Here, simple path is nothing but here the node has to be taken 2 times or visited 2 times. That is called the simple path segment. Okay, it's clear. Next one. A simple path segment is either loop free path or there is a loop. Okay. So a loop sometimes a simple path can be considered as a loop free path or a loop path. Okay. Next one, the fourth one is DU path. So once listen carefully, while you are going for taking a path, it is a DU path. First of all, we need to take a prediction. You need to take a condition that if, for example, if you had the node I to J, for example, we are taking the path, it contains a node I to J, I to K path segment, IJK, okay, path segment, such that if the last link has a computational use of X, compulsory, the last but one link should be computational link, means that there it has to be some computation should be done on that particular link, okay. If the node I to K path segment such that if the last link has a computational use of X, then the path is simple and definition. See here, if the last but one node is J, for example, you are taking the path I to K, in between we have the nodes called PQ, some Q, R, S, T, J. From I to K, we have these are all nodes linked from 1 to 1, I to P, P to Q, and so on up to K. So in the link IJ, the last link, what is the last link you are taking? The IJ link has a predicate use. So predicate or computational use, a predicate use has to be done, and on a particular variable, that is called the DU path. So then the path from I to J is both loop free and definition free. So up to I to J, the previous links should be loop free. J and K, the link of J to K should have a one predicate, one condition, and previous links, what are the previous links or from I to J should be definition clear and loop free. So the remaining links from I to J should not contain any predicate. So only the last link J to K link should have the predicate. That is called the DU path. Okay. These are the four terminologies that has to be learned before going to the strategy. One is a definitional clear path. Second one is a loop free path. Third one is simple path, and the fourth one is DU path. Okay. Now coming to the topic called strategies. In these strategies, again, we have the multiple strategies that you can apply to a particular data flow path. Okay. So generally, strategies are applied to the structure. The structural test strategy discussed below are based on the program control flow. Yes, of course, whatever program control flow you have taken, based upon that only you will apply the strategies. Okay. So it is differed to extent which predicate use or computation use of a variables are included in the testing. Why you are going for the strategies? So it will check correct predication use and correct computation use of performing or not on a particular way. Predication use is nothing but loop, and computation use is nothing but assignment operation. These operations or these loops are done correctly or not, we will check in the from the different strategies. Based upon this predication and computation only, we will test the sets. Okay, first in that first strategy is all DU paths. So all DU path, it is represented as a DU path. All DU path strategy is the strongest data flow testing strategy. Okay. So when applying these strategies to a particular path, it will test that DU path which has a defined variable and has a computational use as a predicate use of the variable. So it will check that when you're applying to a path, it will first check that is there any definition path is there or not. So then it has to followed by a computational use also or predication use. First link has to be a definition link. Remaining links can be anything. Okay, that is the DU path. See in this particular in the diagram. So we have the four nodes A, B, C, D nodes. In that it will check. We are applying a DU path. For that it will check. The first link is D. That is a definition. So here you are defining some variable. Okay, this path is considered as a all DU path. So remaining links can be a computation links or predicate links. First link has to be a definition link. Say test starts from 1, 2, 3. For example, you are taking a path called 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if we are having 4 links compulsory, we need to take the path for strategies compulsory. That 4 links has to be involved is not compulsory. You can take any subpath for the strategy. Here I am taking that 1, 3. Satisfy this criteria. See, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, we have the one definition link. Okay. So that's why it is satisfying the all do path strategy only for variable A and B, but not for all variables. For example, you are taking a link to 2 to 4, it does not satisfy because it does not have any definition link. That is called all do paths. Okay. The next strategy is called all use strategy. All use strategy. So it is defined by the name called AU. So you can represent it by AU, all use strategies. So all uses strategies is at least one definition clear path from every definition of the variable, and every use of the definition be executed under some condition, test condition. Okay. In this compulsory, when you are taking a subpath for a strategy, compulsory it has to be a definition clear path. It has to be one definition and followed by some computation has to be done. Okay. Previous strategy, I'm not telling that computation or predicate has to be done after the definition. Here compulsory, it should be a definition path and it should apply a computation. See, in the example we have 1 to 5 nodes, we are defining a variable called x. So no need of again defining d. When you're performing x, when you are representing x, that is there is x is defining. Okay. In previous thing, the previous thing d is represented. That means, okay. So see here, we are taking the nodes 2, 4 or 2, 3, 4. We are taking the nodes 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4. So here it is a definition clear path, and or not, you have to check the strategy satisfies it or not. Okay, can be included, but we have to use both to begin a path. Okay, so 2 to 4 also, 2 to 4 means we does not have any, see here, we does not have any compute. It goes 2 to directly 4. It does not touch to 3 node. That means definition is x is defined, but it does not contain any computational node. That's why in from 2, 4 does not exist this strategy. But coming to 2, 3, 4 includes this test case because x is defined in the 2, 3 from and it goes to the 3. In the 3 node, it has a computational node. Okay. So in this strategy, define has to be done for a variable and followed by a computation has to be done. So that is the strategy of all use strategy. Okay. So that's why when you are taking two test paths called 2, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 2, 4 does not satisfy this path. 2, 3, 4 includes test case because the only way to reach the C using using by this link, that is called all use strategies, AU. Okay. Next one is APU plus C. So here in the name C, APU is taken as one part, C is adding to that APU. APU means all prediction use. Okay, all prediction use means loop users, all prediction users. If this prediction path is not satisfied, it is satisfied by adding some computational use, that is called plus. That's why we are added plus E plus C. So initially the strategy is all PUs, some CU strategy. Okay, for every variable and every definition of the variable. So generally the strategies will apply for every variable. If you are defining 3 variables x, y, z, it will apply for x, it will apply for y, it can apply for z. So that's why we are saying that every variable and every definition of that variable include at least one definition free path from the definition to every predicate use. Compulsory one definition path has to be done and followed by the predicate has to be taken. Okay, if there are any definition of variable that are not covered, in case you are taking the path which contains a definition but followed by it does not have any predicate, in case predicate that not covered by above descriptions, then add computational use test. Then we can add, we have another option called we can add computational link to that particular path case and required to cover every definition. Okay, so to cover every definition, we will add some computational path. If there is no predicate things to add every definition path, we will add computational path. Okay, see in the previous example, see in the above example, we are having a graph, flow graph from 1 to 9. So here in the second node Z is created followed by 9. Okay, so we have some predicate links, we have some computational links. Predicate link is represented by P, computation link is represented by C. Okay, so we are taking the links called 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 and 5, 6. Test cases are we are applying the test because they contain definition for variable Z, because it contains its definition from Z. Okay, so the links 2, 3, 6, 7 take 6, 7, 8, 9. So here the test case contain predicate use of Z. Okay, predicate use. See, for example, for you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed we are taking, we will have the combination of predicates and computations. No problem. When you are taking the path call from 2, 3 or 6, 7, 8, 9. So this path does not, this have only predication, it does not have any computation. Okay, any definition. Okay, for that test case, they contain predicate use of Z. In that case, we can apply a computational path. Okay, the definition of the variable does not cover. So what the definition of this strategy is, it should be have the predicate. If the definition is not connecting to the with the predicate, we can use the computational links to connect the definition link. Okay, variable does not cover that additional computation use or required to cover every definition. So then we'll add then additional links to that. Additional links are added by using only computation links. So if only predicates are there and it is not reaching to the definition of that variable, then you will add some computational links to link the definition. That is called the all P users, some C user strategies. Okay, then the fourth one is the reverse process of the third one. The fourth one is all C users, some P user strategies, ACU plus V. So here we will check for computational first. Then if it is not satisfied by the computational link, then predication link will added to the definitions. Okay, so see, all C users, some P user strategies is first ensures coverage by computational use case. First, we will check the computation links that links to the definitions link. If it is not satisfied, then we'll go for predicate. So see the particular diagram here. We are saying some path called 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 10. We have some nodes called 1 to 10. For this, we have the definition link followed by the predicate links. So in this from 1 to 10, we contains definition link as well as computation links and predication. No problem. For example, we are not counting the path 4, 5, 6, 7. So you are taking 4, 5, 6, 7 path. So in 4, 5, 6, 7 path, here only predication links are eligible, no computation link. So for this path, you have to apply this strategy. So by using some computation link, for this you have to add some computation links and to the definition. This is the all CU, some PU strategies. So nothing but the strategies or nothing but we are takes different test cases, test paths, takes different paths and apply different strategies. If this path does not satisfy that strategies, is applies some additional links to satisfy that strategy. That is called these all strategies resembles. Okay, so these are the four. This is about the fourth strategy of the testing. And the next one is fifth one, all definition strategies, AD. All definition strategies weaker than the previous strategies what we have seen. So in the previous strategies what we have seen in 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, these strategies compared to these strategies, so all these strategies, this one is the weaker strategies. Okay, so here what is the definition of these strategies means all the AD strategies that requires every definition of every variable to cover at least one use of that variable. So every variable has to be covered in this particular definition strategies. So every AD strategy requires every definition of every variable to cover at least one use, one definition followed by one use. Either predicate use or computation use has to be followed. So the use can be that is a point that I have discussed now. One definition use followed by a computational use or a predicate use. And if you're taking three variables. These three variables has to be they are covered. Okay, so these three definition variables has to be covered, followed by the computational or predicate use. That is called all definition strategies. All definition, we are taking all definition variables followed by computational and predication. And the sixth one is all predicate use, all computation use strategies. Here we will take all predication use and all computation use. See, all predicate use strategies derived from APCU plus C strategy. So next, all computational use strategies derived from ACPU strategies. Then obviously the ACU comes, ACU is a combination of ACPU, and next one is APU is a combination of APU plus C, and ACU is a combination of ACU plus C. So these combinations we will calculate, we will apply this strategy, all predicate use and all computational use strategy. So when you are applying all predicate use strategies derived from APU plus C strategy, by dropping the requirements that P includes all computational use of the variable if there are no P uses of the variables. Okay, so like that only in a ACU, we will use ACUP strategy, dropping the requirements that we include P use, that is predicate use of the variables, if there are no C use for the variables. Okay, so this is about the 6 strategies. So in strategies of data flow testing, we will have 6 strategies. One is, tell me, first one is, the first one is all DU path. Second one is all users strategy is represented by AU. Third one is all PUs some CU strategies, that is represented by APU plus C. And the fourth one is ACU plus P, that is all CU some PU strategies. And the fifth one is AU, that is called definition strategies. And the sixth one is all predicate users, all computational users. These are the 6 strategies that will apply for data flow testing. Okay. So the next one is, this is the ordering the strategy. So how the strategies will be represented in a particular order. This is the order of the strategy. All paths, next whatever paths you take, all paths, next we will apply all DU paths, all users, next AU, next for DU, all U, next win from all users AU. These are divided into 2 parts. We can apply for all C's some P's, or you can go for all P's some C's, means all predicate some computational. Next, from all C's from P's some predicates, we can go for all CUs. Next, all P some P's, we will go for all PUs, and means all predicate users branches statements. So all CUs some P's, all P some P's, these are all based on the all definitions. Okay, so this is the order of the ordering of the strategies. So these are represented by the arrows, denoted that the path how it should be executed, from all paths to DU paths to AU paths to AP, all path, all computational plus predicates, all predicates or plus computational. So all according to that we will go the remaining paths. Okay, this is the representation. So these will be the in decreasing order, not an increasing order. This will be the decreasing. So these will be the increasing order. Last one is the very perfect one. Okay, this will be the increasing order. So the next topic is slicing and dicing. So slicing is nothing but a small part, dicing is nothing but the which is applied on the side slicing. This is the next strategy, that is slicing and dicing. Next topic. Okay, what is a slicing? Slicing is nothing but a program size. From the large program we will take the small program and we will apply a strategy, that is called slicing. Slicing is called program slicing, is a technique which takes a slice or a group of program statements. From the large program we will take some set of statements and we will apply some we will apply some testing on that particular statement, that is called slicing. Okay, this slice will contain the program statements. Okay, in the program for testing particular test conditions or cases, they may affect the values at a particular point. To check on that particular point, on that particular statement, how it affects, to check on that particular point, we will go for slicing. Not for the whole program. For part of the program you want to test, then you will go for slicing. Okay, generally these slicings are used for debugging and to rectify the bugs in a particular program. Okay, it have the two types of slices called the static slice and dynamic slice. Slices can be taken in the two parts. One is static slice and another one is dynamic slice. What is meant by static slicing? Static slicing of a program contains all statements that may affect the value of a variable. So when you are taking a part of the program in that it affects all variable value, then it called the static. Obviously, why it affects the all variables? Because static is the value which is applied for a static value at the beginning only. So whenever you are doing a compiling a program, then effect will start there. That is called static slicing. Okay, so when you're performing a static slicing of a program contains all statements, the statements which are taken for slicing part that may affect the values of a variable at any point of any arbitrary execution of the program. Before going to the program execution only, it affects all variable values. So generally static slices are large because it affects all variable. For example, you are taking 20 statements, you are using a variable called a in 20 statement, it affects all variables, variables that are used in that program. Okay, so that's why it is a general represented as large. Okay, it considers a very plausible execution of the program. It will take every statement possible statement for execution. So next, dynamic slicing is also a slicing part. It is also takes some statements from the large program statements, but it is a dynamic slicing. So what is the difference between a static slicing and dynamic slicing? Means static slicing affects all variables in the program. Where coming to the dynamic slicing, which variable at which point you want to execute, that part only, that statement only, it will affect the program. That is called dynamic slicing because it is executed at the runtime. Dynamic slicing of a program contains all statements that actually affects the value of the variable at any point for a program, particularly all execution of the program. While doing the execution of the program, particularly it affects. Okay, dynamic slices are generally smaller. Obviously, a particular consider only a particular execution of the program where you want to execute, where that particular variable has to be a affecting, that part only it will affect. That is called dynamic slicing. Okay, so while coming to the dicing is nothing but is a program which is part of a slice. The program dice is a part of a slice in which all statements which are known to be correct have been removed. So generally, these dice is applied for slicing program part. The part which is taken for slicing, for that this dice will be applied. So this removes all the statements that are correct, which are the correct statements that will be removed. In other words, a dice is obtained from a slice by incorporating information obtained from the test or experiment. So generally, after performing a test or experiment, these dice will be done for on the slice program. This is about slice and dice. Okay. So the last topic in the unit 2 is the applications. So applications is nothing but the usage where this data flow testing will be used. This comes under the applications. Okay. So next are while you're using data flow testing, the whole part of this, the second part is called data flow testing. So whole part of data flow testing, what you have learned, what is the main advantages, what is the main usages of this data flow testing. So in this, the first application is, it is used to detect the different abnormalities that may arise due to data flow anomalies. Generally, we have a topic called anomalies. In that, what it will explain, it will represent the anomalies of the data flow testing. It will detect the anomalies. So by using the data flow testing, it will detect the different abnormalities that may arise due to data flow anomalies. Okay, that is the main advantage of using data flow testing. Next one, it shows the relationship between data objects that represent data. When you're going for data flow testing, it will check whatever the path you have taken between the data objects. It will show that the link, which data object has to be, what is the connection between the data object. It will shows. Okay, the relationship between the data object it will tells. Next one, it helps by using, and we have the concept called strategies. We have the different types of strategies. By using strategies, it helps in determining the usage of the variable. By using different strategies, how the variable has to be used will be determined. Okay, that are included in the test. Okay, next one is cost effective and will solve the problems that are concrete while performed. So, and these testing also can be used in concurrent machines and concurrent parallel execution of program. So while performing a concurrent execution, this particular data flow testing solves the problem the value of performing simultaneous program. These are the different applications that can be achieved in the data flow testing. Okay, this is about the unit 2. So up to application we have completed the unit 2 chapter.